Hello guys, and welcome back to a new video. Today I'm going to be talking all about the Essdee Lino Cutting Tool Set. I bought this from Cass Art. It was £4.95 and I'm going to do a video all about it. So this was the first ever lino cutting tool that I have. It's the cheapest one and the one that's most readily available because you can buy it from loads of different places. Because I normally use the Pfeil tools and I know that they're super expensive and they're not as accessible for everybody. So I really wanted to make a video all about a cheaper lino cutting tool and some tips for using that. So today I'm going to be talking all about the Essdee cutter, and then I also have this other little wooden one. I'm not entirely sure the brand name of this because I did get this one. I think I just got it off eBay. I just typed in lino cutting tool. So this one is a really good alternative to this one if you prefer. I definitely prefer this one a little bit. I'll probably talk more about it in the video, but this one was again about the same price. It was £4.95 or whatever from eBay. It comes with like the same attachments and you can just attach them to like change the cutting tool that you're using. It comes with U-gouges and V-gouges. So this one comes with 5 cutting tools and you can just detach the cutting tools and then reattach them and they just screw in really simply. There's 5 of them. I'm going to be talking through every single one and giving some kind of tips and things for how I use it and how to make the most out of this lino tool. The lino set that I have comes with 5 different attachments. It comes with a variety of V-gouges and U-gouges and they are detachable, so you can attach them all onto the handle set, which is really useful because then you don't need to have like loads of different handle sets and things. The tool is made up of the handle, a little bit that unscrews, and then the end attachment. It's really simple to unscrew and add the different attachments, so it's really easy to do this while you are carving the lino. It's just super quick and easy. They just simply detach and then you can just slot the new tool in. The first one that I have is a small V-gouge tool. This is really good for details. It can create quite a deep cut. The second one I have is a large U-gouge. This is really good for removing background lino because it's the biggest tool that there is in this set. Then the next one is this kind of flat curve tool. I've actually never ever used this, so I don't really have anything to say about it. The next one is a very small V-gouge. This one is really good for detail. The next one is a little bit bigger, but it's still really small, and again it's a V-gouge. This one's kind of like in between a V-gouge and a U-gouge, but it's really good for like removing bits of detail and things like that. So my first tip that I have is to make sure that the lino is really warm when you're using this tool. It's definitely not the sharpest tool, so it can be quite difficult to cut the lino. So I just place a hot water bottle over the lino for like 10 to 15 minutes just to really warm it up, and then I do this throughout the carving process just because it makes the lino so much easier to carve. And then I'm just going in with the small V-gouge just to remove like the outer part of the design. I find that this gives a really clean cut, and this is what I do when I'm using my Pfeil tools as well. I like to just outline the designs first. I just find that it really helps to give a clean cut on the design, and then I know exactly where I'm carving away the background lino and the details within the design. When using this tool, it's really important to keep rotating the lino because the tool doesn't have as much movement as a Pfeil tool, so I think it's really important to just keep moving the lino so that you can kind of cut sort of like straight forward, just because it doesn't kind of go around corners as well as Pfeil tools and things do, just because it's not as sharp and you don't have the same range of motion. I also like to work super slow when I'm using this tool just because it can be kind of easy to lose control of it and then it will slip and cut your fingers, and it creates a really nasty cut if you do that. I've cut myself so many times with this tool, especially when I was starting out, and it's honestly just not very nice at all. So I like to work really slowly and just work in like sections at a time. So now I'm just removing excess lino, and I like to do this in small bits at once just because again it doesn't cut larger bits of the lino as well as the Pfeil tools do, so I like to work in really small sections carving away the lino. Now I'm just changing to the bigger tool just so I can get some bigger chunks of lino cut away. This one's also good for outlining if you have more space around your design or it's less detailed. So this leaf that I'm carving now is less detailed than the little leaves that I have just carved. So using a bigger tool just helps to carve away more of the lino and get a deeper carve so that the edge is really crisp and clean. And it's also super good for removing away excess background lino or like big chunks of your design. So that's what I'm doing now, is just moving some really big chunks of lino away. Then I'm going in to do the detail on the stars with the very smallest V-gouge. This is really tiny. It's a super tiny tool, so it's really good for like intricate details, and all of the other tools would have been too big to carve out this little star, so that's why I'm just carving around the outside of it with this. And then I'm going to go in with a bigger tool and remove the lino from around it, but I find that making the really tiny cuts around the star helps to keep the detail and the shape of the star, whereas if I was to go in with a bigger tool, I would probably like completely lose the detail and it wouldn't be a very good shape. So now I'm going in with the slightly bigger but still very small V-gouge just to remove away the lino, but I don't have to be as careful because I've already carved out the shape around the star with the smaller lino tool, so the lino will just break away easily and there won't be any sort of like tearing or ripping of the lino into the design. It's really important to make sure you keep changing the lino tools so that the size of the tool fits what you are cutting. I know it can seem like such a hassle having to change the ends of the tool all the time, but it's really important to make sure your design is really clean and carved away properly, because I definitely have a tendency to be like super lazy and not change the end of the tool, but then I just end up ruining my design and it's not carved away properly, and there's definitely bits of it that look super bad because I've used a tool that's too big to carve away some detail or something. So it's really important just to keep changing the tools when you need to. I know it can be such an effort, but it's honestly worth it because it makes your design so much better. With these tools, I find that they don't give as deep a cut as the Pfeil tools just because they aren't as sharp, so I like to go over each section a couple of times when I've carved away the background lino to make sure that it's going to give a clean, crisp print and there won't be any noise on my print where I haven't carved the lino deep enough. So I'm just going over the sections a couple of times to make sure that everything is carved away properly. Another tip that I have with this tool is to try and keep it really horizontal, really flat to the lino. This just helps with creating a clean carve and also ensuring that you don't carve too deep and go through the other end of the lino. This just really helps to push the tool through the lino. I don't know if this is making any sense. I'll try and do some close-ups of what I mean, but it just works really well to try and keep the tool super flat, just so that it's like kind of flat against the lino and your hand is as low to the lino as possible. This just helps with like getting a clean cut and just ensuring that you're carving away all of the lino and you're not carving too deep into the lino and things like that. It also just helps with like clean, crisp edges on the edge of your design and things. So I then just go ahead and do a little test print of my design just to see how it's looking, to see if I need to carve away any other areas. Doing a test print is really good because it allows you to see if you've missed any spots when you're carving. This happens to me like honestly all the time. I don't know how I manage to do it, but I think it's because I'm in such a rush all the time to finish carving. So I like to just do a test print. Rolling the ink onto the lino is really good because then you can see exactly where you've carved. If you have missed any bits of your design, you can just place a piece of paper over the lino and then carve away the bits that you need to carve away so you don't get ink all over your hands. And you can always wash the lino tools, but make sure they are properly dry if they do get ink on them. I just find that doing a test print is like the only way to know for sure that you're going to be happy with your design and that it's all properly carved away and there's no noise and things, uneven texture around the edges of my design, which is something that can definitely happen with this lino tool. It doesn't give the sharpest cut, so it is important to make sure you carve the edges of your design slowly, otherwise they will be kind of a bit uneven and textured when you print them. So that is everything I have to say about this lino tool. I am actually going to be doing a little giveaway over on Instagram. I'm going to be giving away this little set, this tool set, just because I don't personally use it. I already have one. I have like a couple of them, so I've got this one already and I have got the wooden one in case I want to use them in the future. So I'm going to be doing a little giveaway over on Instagram with this, and I'm going to be putting some lino in the package and things. I will leave my Instagram link down below if you do want to check it out so you can see the giveaway post and things. But I just really want to help someone new get into lino printing by giving this away. It's not affiliated with any of the brands or Instagram or anything. I've paid for this and I just want to give it away to someone who wants to start out lino printing and things, and I just want to help them in any way that I can. So I will leave my Instagram link down below in case you do want to check out the giveaway, or please share it, or if you know anyone who wants to get into lino printing, please let them know about this. I would really appreciate that. But thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that it was useful. If you have any more tips about using these kind of lino tools, please let me know in the description down below, and like help each other out if anyone's asking questions and things. I would really appreciate that. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you really soon with a new video.